scientific medical treatment, but it's important that you know the principles behind these systems are based on this. There are a lot to say, but I just try to give you some of the very, very important ideas in Taoism, and then the way Taoist principle relates to the world. There is another story that I think I can mention. It's in Zhuangzi. It's very famous. This story also, from this story you can also see how yin and yang principle apply to it. It's about Zhuangzi himself. One day, his wife died. His friends know it. They came to see him. They want to comfort him. But they were surprised when they arrived at his house. He was singing. He played an instrument and he was singing. So his friend asked him. His friend thinks it's very inappropriate. Imagine, Confucianism is the dominant ideas in that time. So if people should follow the proper rituals to do funerals and so on. But seemingly, Zhuangzi did not do so. He was playing instrument, he was singing. So his friend think it was very inappropriate. So they asked him, why were you singing? You seem happy, but your wife was dying. If your wife died, it wasn't very inappropriate. And then Zhuangzi explained to them. He said, she died, but we didn't need to be that sad because she just returned to the nature. Just imagine, from the broader perspective of view, years back, she tend to view the whole world or the whole event from the broader timeline. So she said, before she was born, there wasn't even the existence of her. So everything still followed their own order. So the fact that she passed away was just the way that she followed this order of nature. So we don't need to be, or he didn't need to be sad. And one day, eventually, he will fall into this order. And then after years, nobody, his existence will be gone after a few years, although he was singing and playing instrument. So it was just the fact of the natural world. So it was a famous story, but it also represents that in Taoism, it seems that there are more possibilities of personal choices compared to Confucianism. So based on the principles, like the yin and yang and 5 elements, every person has the freedom to choose to live with the nature, live with the orders of the nature. So basically, I think that's the main point of today. All right. We have two questions. First one is, how do you relate yourself to the natural world? Of course, you can answer according to your understanding of Bible, or you can kind of put the ideas, but you can just think of this question: how do you relate yourself to the world? Now we are in a building. It's hard to imagine, but we walk outside, you walk in the nature, you will see how you kind of can relate yourself when you walk in the woods, when you walk along the riverside. That's the time probably you can relate yourself more to the natural nature. And the second question is, again, you can compare the similar ideas and different ideas between our faith and these Taoist ideas. There are some people will compare Book of Job or Book of Ecclesiastes to Taoism, because clearly, especially Ecclesiastes, there are a lot of sayings that negative things do not lead to negative results. So a lot of things you see are just like you just embrace or you just accept the fact that it happened. It happened. You don't have to really dig in and then see why this is happening. Like Book of Job too. Sometimes bad things happen to you. It's not necessarily that bad, and then you just, when you embrace it, when you accept it, maybe you will find some kind of positive meanings inside it. But you don't have to ask so many questions, why and why. So this is basically like nature. When the leaves fall down, you don't ask why the leaves fall, because it just happened. This is the way of life. This is the orders of the nature. This will happen. All right, so you can think, and then do you have any questions? Yes? You what? Okay.
It's hard for me to explain because I don't know fully, completely understand it.
Uh-huh.
But I was wondering if somebody else did so they could explain it to you.
What is, sorry, I don't, I'm sorry.
Word is chakra. You know that word chakra? Like there's this idea. I think there's seven. They're supposed to be in your body, and they each represent different things, and you can do like energy work.
Oh,
Connected to the chi meridian. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I was wondering if this is connected to that. Maybe not.
all right. I will say maybe some, but okay, in Taoism there are some practices that can sort of relate to supernatural power, that you, like there are some breathing techniques you can practice, or there are some meditations you can do, and that can kind of make you healthier. But you have to do that. You have to follow like a guru or master to do it. Some kind of instructions. But the things that I'm talking about are for everyone. They're almost like semi science, that you can do experiment and then you can see the results. But these practice like meditations, you can only test it or experience by yourself, and then you can tell what is it good or bad, but nobody else can know. But as for the medical system, like the 5 elements, there are medicines that relate to it. You can, like, it's kind of scientific. You can, I mean, the Chinese doctors will give you medicine, and you can tell they can give all the medicines to the people who have the same symptom, and they can tell if it's work or not. But like these meditations, it's hard to tell because you are the person who practice is a person who the only person who experiences it. But these are you can test it. If it's some of the medicine relate to these characteristics, if they are working or not. There are books written down. There are prescriptions that have been discovered from long past, like centuries ago. They test, and then they found, oh, this will work. But the meditations are completely different. But yes, they are part of the Taoist practices. Right. Yes.
So there are a lot of these practices, or like the different, like the elemental way of looking at the body and the different practices. How do you incorporate these or not incorporate some of these practices into your faith? What parts of Taoism do you
Right.
continue to draw energy from, and what parts do you not?
Okay, for example, I think I shared to some of you guys, like there are certain ways of diet for pregnant women to follow, and very strict diet for women who just gave birth to follow. Especially, no new mom will like to drink cold or eat cold things like ice. You shouldn't take. Why? And people all follow it, and why? Because they believe that when you eat ice, eat cold thing, it will produce hot in your body. It's the reverse. It will not cool your body down. It will produce hot in your body. So it's like this. It will produce fire. So it's very in a bad way. So you should not take that. And the way your body functions in this system is very different. People just follow it, and then they found it's kind of really effective. So this is how. So like I said, this is for the East Asian people will think this is semi-science because they experience, they take it, they consume it, and then they find out if it's work or not. So we thought this is religious idea. It's kind of, but when we trace the roots, they are from here. But just somehow it worked, and then people will take it. And this does not look like against the face. It's just like maps out a way of organizing the world. Now in the West, the Westerners used science, and it's also the outcome of the results of the experiments. These are also from the experiments, but because the way they put it is like mysterious, but not really mysterious. They are just like categories. It's just a different ways of categorize things, the world things. So I guess maybe people are very cautious, but like I said, if you go into the meditation practice, then I would think maybe that can relate to some kind of supernatural power. We are not very sure, but in terms of these, you can see these are just a way of, like, right.
You're dealing with the practical aspect of life.
Right.
And you said that Taoism does not embrace good and evil.
What?
Taoism does not embrace good and evil?
Yes, kind of.
Does not.
Does not.
Does that not seem like a contradiction to all the others? I mean, why not? You have, in other words, what I'm saying is if Taoism embraces a balance
Right, right.
between opposites.
Yes.
Is it possible that good equals out evil? In your discussion here, which is not all in this print,
Right.
the author here discusses the aspect of God being opposing to himself
Right,
and Job.
right, right. That's what.
And Job was apparently convinced that God would help him because he knew that despite the, quote, opposite bad aspect in God, or the negative aspect was equaled by the good aspect.
Right.
Am I correct
Yes,
in that?
yes. So, okay, if we can kind of make use of the idea of yin and yang in theology or in Christian thought, it will be the bad effect. If we think that's a effect from yin, then that's the means to kind of invoke or make the yang to come out. So if there's no yin, there won't be yang. So they kind of coexist. So when you know there's good, why you know this thing? Why you know the goodness of the life? Because you know the evil. They rely on each other. But Taoism is like they don't give you the very, very correct answer, or like they won't come to the conclusion that yes, so God makes things for the purpose of bringing goodness to human beings. No, they won't come to that. But they know that these two things rely on each other to arise or to distinguish, to end. But you don't only have one element. You don't only have yang. You don't only have daytime, although everyone likes daytime. But you need nighttime to, and then you will have daytime. So that's how they coexist.
But in Christianity, and Paul's writings, good will overwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
which is the basis for salvation.
Yes, exactly. But these, if you kind of make use of the Taoist principles, this will add you to some kind of explanations of why God make bad things happen. So, if, like for example, for Christians from Eastern religious background, they can accept the bad things to happen in their life, even though they're Christian. They know it is natural. They know this will happen. They won't be questioning God why this is happening, because they have already assumed that the nature is comprised with these two elements. So for them, bad things is just part of your life. It will happen. You cannot prevent it from
You
happening.
believe that Christianity
Yes.
can appeal to a person who has the Tao culture,
Yes.
been brought up, in other words,
Yes.
you do.
Yes. I mean by that. So I think this will, just in my point of, but I want you guys to have more. Oops.
What did Perry just ask? Almost out of time. What did you just ask her?
Yes.
I missed the question. I think I heard the question. Ask it again. Would you?
I wondered and knew the slight difference that we were talking about between Taoism and Christianity, that Christianity could appeal to a person who was brought up in a culture of Taoism. Because, you have a balance of forces, yet Christianity does say that good will overwhelm
Right.
evil. I mean, Paul talks about that, the love of God. But Taoism doesn't necessarily embrace that.
Right.
Although in this writing here, the author talks about the positive and the negative aspects of God, which are brought out in the Job. Where
Yes.
God has to justify himself to Job.
Right.
Job has total belief in God, but God says, okay, I was here before you ever arrived, and I
Right.
did all this, I could do all this, And Job understands that God has a negative aspect to himself, but he believes that the positive will outweigh that negative aspect.
Right.
According to this.
Yes, I think so. Because I know Hans Kuhn wants to bring.
You cut off the last page on this, so I couldn't get the conclusion.
sorry. Oh, I really encourage if you have really time, you go and buy this book. I think this is very nice. You get really good ideas. If your interests are not just on Eastern religions, but the rest, he has another book about all the world religions, and then how the comparison, and he show kind of appreciation, but without changing his own stance, perspective, or his face. It's nice that you keep your own face, but showing some kind of appreciation too. Yes. Yes.
Sorry. So what's something that we can learn or take away from our stuff, or like what's something that maybe Western Christianity could learn from?
There are a lot of, I don't know if you know Thomas Merton. Yes. He has at least 2 books that have a good chapter on Taoism. A lot of Western philosophers, even like the sociologist, Marx, sorry, I forgot his name. I mean, there are a lot of very, very good. There's a good amount of academic works that relate to Taoism, and because I'm not I guess from a Western perspective, they feel that the idea of balance, the emphasis on naturalist ideas are very useful to the modern society in the West, because it seems that in the West, there are absolutely right and wrong, always there, the line between, and then if you pursue the goodness, you have to kind of think that you have to really blend on the other side. Like I know now you are working on the grassroots movement and all this, then you have to say no to the other side of because you're trying to promote this. So you clearly distinguish what is benefit to your work and what is not beneficial. But in this thought, you will get to see that the side that you don't like or you disagree with has some kind of element that can help you. Do you get? So they think. So some of the Western philosophers think it's really amazing that. So you don't cast hatred on the side that disagree with you, but kind of you thank for them because some part in them inspire you to move forward. So, and it's naturally, you don't have to force yourself to accept it. If you know the principle, you just accept it. I know it's, but when you read their stories, you understand that according to, these people, like I said, Zhuangzi, or the man who lost the horse and then found the horse and then the son, like all this, like people actually experience this, and they found this is a good way to accept their life. But of course, we're as Christians, we know that God has a higher plan. But at the same time, these give us another, like we see things through another lens. To especially know the bad things happening in our life. Of course, we read Bibles and then try to explain it. But I feel like these are just, you tend to see things in the, like they complement each other. You and your enemies, the people that disagree with you, the things that you disagree with, probably has some kind of part that you should be aware of, and you don't know. When you look into that part, you know, things complement each other. All right.